Mahag Sar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
It doesn't matter. If they try to get in our way, we'll take them down and that'll be that.
Go no further!
Here I come!
Eat this!
You're finished!
Oh, and
Dragon Swarm!
Divine Strength! If they do it! You gotta jump the cover! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! With your flames and my technique?
We're stronger together than we are apart.
No choice! You're mine!
Where are you going?
I'm on it! Dragon Swarm!
Lunar Corruption!
Eagle's Eye!
By the power of water!
Bullseye, Xion! Nuts!
Get out of my sight, Miner! You'll get hurt!
Right, sorry, thanks.
Here I come!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Xion.
Look, Hoodle! One of your buddies! Get lost!
Anything in armor is all mine. Look sharp.
Come and face me!
Can you take it down?
Here's the evil!
This one's mine. I'll take out the legs with my shield.
Can't get out of this! All in order.
Where's the shot?
You're going pretty hard in this battle.
I am not usually given to restraint.
I'm not done!
Sometimes I believe you're stronger than you let on.
Make it rain.
Who wants to die yet?
Tiger blade.
Raging
Ruin Sword! This could be useful. There's something in the wall. I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Renin eyes.
Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble.
I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod.
You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done. Ha! Not my lucky day, I guess. I've got something. You've got to know when to quit. There we go. I'll let you go this time. And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins.
Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us. Okay!
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Just doing my job. No need to thank me.
We should be able to...
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it. Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, La?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
So, do any of you know anything about Lord Dohalim?
I think I remember hearing something back in Sisloden about how he fights using a rod.
A rod?
I don't know the details, but from what I gather, he swings a long rod around and uses it to stab and smack people from afar. I think there's also something he does with, like, trees or grass or something? I forget.
Grass?
Bear in mind that Elda Menancia harvests Earth astral energy. It would be no surprise for him to have some sort of control over plants.
So basically the point is we know nothing about the guy. Wish we weren't going in completely blind.
I just don't get it. The Danans have endured years of suffering. How could they just turn around and trust the Renans all of a sudden?
Yeah, I've been wondering the same thing. But I guess they must have a pretty good reason, right?
Like what? What could erase 300 years of pain and suffering?
Maybe it's precisely because they suffered for so long that they see Dohalim as something of a savior.
Hey, whose side are you on here, Alphen?
Relax, Rinwell. All I'm saying is that we shouldn't jump to assumptions about these people until we know more about the situation.
I just don't get it. This came out so good, I almost hate having to eat it.
Mind if I join you, Law?
Hey, Alphen. When do you find the time to train?
What's brought this on all of a sudden?
It's just, even without the blazing sword, you'd still be able to hold your own, right? But I never see you training.
I'd hardly call it a regimen. Unless exchanging blows with Zeugles counts.
I mean, sure, I get that real-life practice beats training any day. But you must have the odd trick or two up your sleeve.
I just told you. I really don't.
Wait, I've got it. It's your armor, right? You channel the extra weight into your strikes and...
It's actually not as heavy as it looks.
So not the armor, huh? In that case...
Just calm down a little, would you? Why are you so fixated on this anyway?
Well, because I want to make myself stronger.
You're strong enough as it is. I almost feel sorry for those Renin soldiers.
It's not enough. I need to keep working to get stronger. I won't allow myself to fail anyone again.
Law?
I'm useless the way I am now. If someone else dies because of me...
Law!
Sorry. Spiraling into self-doubt won't do me any favors. I know that.
None of us are invincible, Law. We're all just getting by, doing the best we can.
That's all we can ask of each other, right? It's as good a place as any to start, I guess.
To start what?
My new training regimen, of course. And what better way to kick it off than push-ups? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I admire your enthusiasm. Just don't overdo it, okay?
Just wait. You'll see how strong I can get. See you guys tomorrow. I feel pretty refreshed after that sleep.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Out of my way!
Primed and ready. Excited.
Where are you going? Lavarna!
Rising Wyvern!
Begin! Wait!
Rising Falcon!
Tiger Blade!
Airborne beast.
Resonate
My
with the
spell.
Going in!
Elusive!
Fire
I've got one. Let a marksman handle it.
In a bind?
All yours! Be still!
Go!
Rising Falcon!
Can you take it?
Tiger Blade!
Benediction light.
Down! You're on!
Resonate with the earth.
Plasmite!
Benediction light.
Rising Wyvern!
I'll face you.
Finish it!
Astral energy! Full throttle!
Going in!
I'll face
Rising
you.
Wyvern!
Benediction light.
Rising Fire!
Resonate with the
Make
earth!
it ready! Law! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
My exploits are bearing fruit. All right. There's nowhere to run from my heart.
When he slows down, that's our chance! Demon Blast!
It's like trying to keep up with the wall!
In a bind,
Look shot! Field!
resonate with the earth.
Amazing.
Tiger Blade!
Do you require a hand? In a bind,
Water! Here's the sun!
elusive deity.
Tornado Drive! Here's the evil! One more!
Can't get out of this.
Freeze Lancer!
Tiger Blade!
Tornado drive.
Rising Falcon!
It's time. Prepare to be seized. Actually, that sounded more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing!
Do you require a hand?
Going in!
Double Demon Fang!
Cyan Instant! Annihilation!
No further.
Mega Ray!
Dragon Swarm! Sonic Cloud!
Now or never. No further.
Take this!
Here I go! Judgment Fist! Mega Ray!
Do you require a hand?
You're mine!
Stalagmite. Resonate with the earth.
None shall escape!
This one's mine! Look sharp!
Can you take it? Take this. No further.
Demon Fang!
Can you
Double
take it?
Demon Fang!
Here's the resonate with the earth.
Dazzling Spin!
Elusive deity. Prepare to be
Tiger
seized.
Blade!
Elusive deity.
Mega Ray!
Open.
In an instant!
Impact block. Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side. I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh? What's wrong? We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued. Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course. history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage him.
We won.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
Dispose of the trash.
Can you take it?
This one's mine!
Not so fast!
Going in! None shall escape my
I'm not so good with airborne targets.
Anything matters, all mine!
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for you truly!
I think we can get through this.
Don't let up until it's over.
Who said anything about letting off?
Not on my watch.
You picked the wrong fight.
Can you take it?
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Let's talk more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
We're in good form. Here goes!
Leave you short! This one's mine! Far enough!
Here I come!
Elusive deep!
It's a duel of the arts.
You require a hand. No further!
Flying free! Why can't they just sit still?
Xion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than... This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! A merry distraction!
There's still more to go!
Benediction!
Heal! They're on... Damn it!
Leave the enemy's arts to me.
No complaints here! Can you take it? Not so fast!
Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me. This one's make it break!
You require a hand.
I need to be stronger.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Oh yeah. We used to run up and down these slopes all the time for our training exercises.
Damn.
Retreat if you know what's good for you. I'll face you no further.
Right here! I got it! Where are you going?
Now you see what I can do!
Try harder!
This one's mine!
Now it's my turn.
You're finished!
Elusive deity. Tornado drive.
Rising Viper!
An astral artist?
That's my cue.
Shut him down!
Denied! Freeze Lancer!
Benediction.
Going in! None shall escape my judgment!
Tornado drive.
This one's
Ignite!
mine! Do it!
Elusive deity.
Elvin!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
Freeze Lancer!
I got it!
Got what?
I can chop up vegetable scraps and use them in the seasonings.
Should've known that's what it was gonna be about.
Out of my way!
Prepare to be sealed!
In a bind?
That's it!
Lunar Blast!
Don't worry, I've got plenty to go around.
Tornado Drive!
Going in!
Elusive
One
Deal!
never miss! Confiscated! Hear me! Flame of Fury!
See what I can
Make
do!
it rain! Bridwell!
Frozen!
Hammer!
The enemy wields arms too.
We'll soon see about that! None shall escape my
Tornado
judgment!
Drive!
Rising
Make it
Rider!
rain!
All yours, Kisara! I should be of some use to us now.
You weren't exactly dead weight before.
Except in regard to doing basic chores. I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
Dohalim's fighting style is... what's the word I'm looking for? Subdued? No...
Do you mean elegant, perhaps?
Yeah, that's the word. For better or worse, you can definitely tell he's cut from posh Renin cloth.
And he's not just skilled with the staff either. He can also use astral arts, including healing ones. I can see how he made it to the position of a lord.
You flatter me, but my fighting techniques merely come from a style that aims to conserve energy by minimizing body movement.
Is that why you wait until the last second before you dodge attacks? To avoid unnecessary movements?
No, I do that to sharpen my senses. I find that doing so is an effective means of drawing out my innermost strength.
Oh yeah, I've noticed you look stronger and strike out with your rod more after you dodge attacks. Guess that's why.
Still, it's a risk. Don't you ever worry you'll dodge at the wrong moment?
Then, it'll be just as well.
Huh?
It's nothing. Let us continue.
No choice!
You wanna play?
Take it!
Come at me!
Ignite!
Not so fast!
Take this!
Elusive deity! A new
Demon
melody! Leave the agile ones to me.
Leave the choice!
Elusive deity! Prepare to be sealed!
Make it rain!
Not so fast!
Hear my call!
Elusive deity!
Ready and raring!
Double demon time!
Can you take it?
Elusive
Tornado Drive!
Too fast!
Stand back! I'll trim it up.
I can carve through armor!
Make it rain!
Hey!
Blow them away!
Lightning! Still coming! Wait!
Burn in hell!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
I still got a ways to go.
This'll make us even more formidable.
More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
I just noticed none of you other Danons have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danon slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman. And this is my chance to have a new beginning.
No choice.
Ha! Does it hurt?
Instant! One big wait! Graviton Tail Ray!
Take this!
Mega Ray!
Elusive deity!
Annihilation! Mega Ray!
Demon Fang!
How's this?
There! One more!
Begin!
Mega
Does it
Ray!
hurt? Elusive deity!
Art Expert coming
None
through!
shall escape
Come
my
to
judgment!
Does it?
This one far enough! Ray!
I'll thank you! Shattering the pieces!
Mega Ray!
Only the best materials in your garments.
You really do have quite the discerning eye, Dohalim.
Yeah, they all kind of look the same to me.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
No further! You're mine! This one's mine!
Going in! Primed and ready! More! Where are you going? Tiger Blade!
You're mine!
I'll face you!
Going in!
Raging Luna Storm!
Make it ready!
Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis! Well, looky here.
Retreat if you know what's good for you!
Overwatch!
Save you!
On guard!
Begin! Try this!
Try this!
One Demon
The
Blade!
Abyssal Beast! Clear for us
Tiger
a
Blade!
path!
Take this! Demon Fang!
A comfortable win.
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
What's this place here? Some kind of old house?
I don't know about that. If I...
No choice!
Here I go!
Begin!
One more!
Take
Go!
this! Now
Where
or
are
never!
you going?
Snake of the Abyssal
Here I go!
Beast! Clear for us a path! No further!
Mega Ray! This one's by the power!
Raging Luna Storm!
Burn in hell!
Will this help?
Azure Storm!
Make it ray!
Spin well! Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis!
I'll heal you all!
Ready and ready! Okay, here I go! Those I miss You're helping me become a path.
Make it ray!
For the good of all of us. Spin well! Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis!
I feel sprightlier than before.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danon, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danons in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danons in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
An opponent like this should be easy.
I shall ensure you survive this.
Not on my watch!
Raging Luna Storm! Snake of the Abyssal Beast! Begin!
Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me.
Abyssal Beast! In a bind?
A lord's power never ceases to amaze me.
Former lord. I'm as regular as the next man.
Yeah. Do it! The next man.
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Where are you going? Reload!
Raging Lunar Storm!
This one's
Not
mine!
today!
Flame! Reload! Spin! Water! Here I
Make
go!
it
Red! Red! Make it get toasty!
Burn Strike!
This one's mine!
See what I can do!
That's it! I'm all stuffed up!
I'll face you! Raging Lunar Storm!
Tiger Blade!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! This one's mine!
To me!
Tiger
Snake
Blade!
of the abyssal
None
deep.
shall
Clear
escape
across the
my
path.
judgment! This one's mine!
Raging
Snake
Lunar.
Wing! Do it!
Here I come!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes. So I still had room to grow.
Out of our way!
No further.
Burning Strike!
Rage, stay calm. I shall provide assistance. Off-one serpent.
This
Being
one's mine!
interrupted.
I'll smash you! Here, this one's mine!
Tornado Alpha!
Where are you going?
Raging Lunar Storm. Knuckle Blade.
Piercing
Raging Lunar Storm.
Make it rain!
Nexion.
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes. A merry distraction.
There's still more to go! Here goes!
Finish this! Come on!
Alphen.
In an instant!
Impact Cross.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
This might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
Let's see what you've got.
Can't
No
handle me,
further.
can you? Not in your dreams! Go in! One more! Tiger Blade!
Raging Lunar
Here
Storm.
I go! Go
Snake
in!
of the abyssal deep. Clear for us a path.
Burning Strike!
The tide of battle has turned in our favor.
Then let's keep pressing the attack.
Indeed. But remain ever vigilant.
Hit me! Flame of Fury!
Begin.
Burning Strike! Blaze on! Pierce evil!
Raging Lunar Storm.
This one's mine!
Armor won't save you.
Here I come!
Go! Mega Ray!
The
This
abyssal
one's
deep.
mine!
Clear for us.
Arch Field!
Another incantation
This
ruined.
one's mine!
Can you take
Make
it?
it rain!
Rising Wyvern! Shoot us!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion. What's that big tower over there?
I think the animals back at the ranch should be all grown up by now.
I always love the sound of hammers banging away. Guess I'll polish up my sword.
That was nothing.
Mind if I join you, Law?
Oh, hey, Alphen. What's up?
Nothing. I was just surprised to see you weren't training for once. Got a stomachache or something?
You know I don't literally train around the clock, right? I do take breaks.
Do you? It seems like you're training every chance you get.
Well, yeah, it can't be helped if I want to get stronger. Still, it's important to let your muscles rest every now and then. That's what my dad told me anyway.
Zephyr said that?
When I was a little kid, yeah. I would get so excited whenever he came home. I always followed him wherever he went and tried to learn as much from him as I could. He said, it's good to be passionate, but don't overdo it. Just like there are times when you want to take a break from studying, sometimes your body wants to take a break from training too. I was always rushing around and forgetting to rest, so he ended up telling me that a lot.
That definitely sounds like him.
It's nothing to get sad over. Still, I can't help but wonder if that was my dad's way of teaching me the dangers of rushing into things too quickly. Then again, maybe I'm just overthinking things. I wish I'd had more time to talk to him about this kind of stuff. I'll take guard duty tonight. It's fine. You guys ready to hit the road? I know I am.
Guess I misread the landing. Not this way, I guess. Guess I misread the landing.
Discourteous, aren't you? Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Don't mind if I do.
Rising Wyvern! Here I come!
Begin! Does it hurt? That's it! Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Can't get out of this!
We've turned the tables on it.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back.
Can you take it? Raging Luna Storm!
Make it rain!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
I need to be stronger.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Begin!
Going in. This one's mine.
Snake could be a bit like you.
Don't worry, I've got plenty to go around.
Begin! Flying freak! What can they
Do it!
Still!
Still!
Blow them away!
An astral art?
That's my blazing storm.
Shut him down!
This one denied!
Strength as beastly as she who wields it.
Is beastly supposed to be a compliment?
Yes.
Do it!
You outbeat the beast.
You're stronger than any Renin soldier I've ever met.
They don't just let anybody have a place in the Royal Guard.
Indeed. So I see. Looks like it could be worth something.
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldimenencia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahagsar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already. I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me? Why?
said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the?
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
Where are you going? Piercing roar! Don't mind if I do.
Dragon Pierce through! All mine! Burn in hell!
Show me your strength.
Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal.
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord? Falling storm!
Rotating pile driver.
Slash!
It's go time!
Mega ray!
Raging Luna Storm.
Tiger blade! First aid!
Bestow thy mystic mercy.
Rising Wyvern!
Die.
Far enough!
Do you require a hand?
Falling storm! Go! And again!
Entertain me.
Going in! Annihilation!
Raging Luna Storm.
Art expert coming through! Roar!
Dragon Swarm!
Freezing storm!
Going
in! Not in your dreams! Flaming meteor!
Burn! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides, Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry,
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine, really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danon astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest.
Hey.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain, but you still can. Can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
Are we in the right place? This place looks like a mess.
Yes, this is Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of place people would actually live.
No soldiers, no Danons, not a soul to be seen. Yet look at these facades. This is clearly a Renin district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest. It's from an old Danon legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renans have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Danans rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe, but not entirely unthinkable, given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened. This is horrible.
Is there truly no one here?
All of these ruins look like they were made pretty recently.
But if that's the case, then where do you think the people that used to live here went off to? There must have been Danans and Renans, right?
That's a good question. Even if the Danans rebelled and managed to overthrow the Renans here, there should still be some people around.
This debris... Do you think it could be the work of Renan astral arts?
Perhaps, but the appearance of these ruins is rather uniform, which leads me to believe otherwise.
Hey, Rinwell. That story you told us about the Dark Wings, it said that the evil king was vanquished with a holy flame, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then there might be some truth to that old story after all. It looks like all the rubble here had been scarred by flames.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. If we can find someone around here, we might be able to get them to tell us what happened. Dohalim, you forgot to take care of the fire yesterday.
What do you mean, take care of? Ah, yes. You meant to put it out?
Yep. If it stays lit, we could end up in real trouble real fast.
I see. I apologize for not realizing that. I shall be more careful in the future.
The way he's talking, it's like the thought of putting it out himself never even occurred to him.
Moving on, Dohalim, I should mention that the clasp for your cape is about to come undone.
Oh yes, I tried to fix that myself, but it simply refused to cooperate with me.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Are you telling me Renans can't even dress themselves?
Lords like Dohalim have attendants that take care of just about everything they need, so I'm not surprised he sometimes struggles with the basics.
Even by those standards, you've got to admit this is still a little extreme.
Shionna's got a point. I mean, you don't see Renans like her needing so much help to get stuff done.
In my case, circumstances forced me to learn how to be independent. Even so, I still think Dohalim could afford to pick up a few more self-sufficient skills.
Well, specifically speaking, what would you suggest that I learn?
For starters, I think it'd be good for you to learn how to dress. And put on shoes. How to comb your hair is equally important. And learning to manage your possessions better. And then from there...
She sounds like his mom rattling all that off.
Oh, and another thing. About your owl, Rinwell.
What is it?
When he starts to molt, would you be willing to give me his old feathers? I think I could find a use for them.
What do you intend to do with those?
Well, recently, I haven't been sleeping well. However, I hear pillows made from owl feathers are very comfortable and wish to make one.
This is why I hate you, Renans!
Did I say something offensive?
Next time, put your own needs aside for a second and think about how someone might react first. Then consider if it's worth asking at all.
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
What are those out in the valley? Windmills? They're huge.
They're most likely used to harvest wind astral energy, so they have to be big.
All of you, stop right there! Don't move!
They have us surrounded.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
You first! Show yourself!
I'm the one asking the questions here. Don't try anything funny. One wrong move, and I guarantee we'll blow you away.
What are you...
My name is Alphen. I came here from Calaglia.
Alphen? The wielder of the blazing sword?
Getting pretty famous, isn't he?
Here is my proof. Will that suffice? Or do I have to burn down one of those houses to make my point?
No need. I believe you. I'm Bayfon, of the Darkwings. Sorry for threatening to blow you away. We're still hunting down the remnants of the enemy forces, so everyone's more than a bit on edge right now. Please forgive me.
Remaining? Wait, you mean you already took down the Lord of this realm?
That's right. We took her weapons and turned them right back on her.
Are you the Danon leader here in Niez?
Nah, I'm just one of the commanders. Deadheim's the one who runs the show. I'd be happy to take you to him. Just one problem. The Renans. Seems the rumors you were running with them were true. You do understand, right? I mean, we only just liberated the city from their kind. Everyone's short on trust. And for good reason. Especially Deadheim. I think it'd be best if those two waited outside.
Not going to happen.
I don't think it's a good idea for us to split up. It's too dangerous.
Then it's on your head, friend. Our base is that way.
You could have left me behind, you know.
This isn't just about you, Dohalim.
Ah, yes.
I guess even after you beat the Renans, your work's only really just begun, huh?
Yeah. This place seems like it's got a lot of issues to fix.
So you're Alphen, are ya? Thought you'd be bigger. Huh. Guess the armor beefs you up a bit. You've got a lot of people talking, you know. But in this town, I call the shots. You play by my rules here. Just remember that. Gotta say, I didn't expect you to run with a gang of women and kids. Those other lords must have been real pushovers, huh?
Seriously? Are you this rude to everyone you meet?
Don't interrupt me, you brat. Didn't your parents teach you any manners?
Why, you?
So you're the one who took down the Lord of this realm, huh? How'd you pull that off?
We just swiped the Renan's explosives. And then we blasted them all to hell and back.
Explosives? That's a pretty bold approach. But how'd you manage to avoid hurting your own people?
I didn't, that's how. But the chance to take out a lord was worth the sacrifice.
And the Lord? What did this sacrifice earn you?
Unfortunately, we couldn't manage to finish her off. But now we've really got the girl on the run.
She ran? A lord?
Yeah, the lady was just a coward. She had a whole lot more bark than bite, that's for sure. She's probably hiding off in a hole somewhere. But not for long. We'll find her and drag her right back into town. Then she'll get what's coming to her.
I wouldn't be so sure. She may run, but she'll never go quietly.
Shut up, Bright Eyes! I would have run you through already if you weren't with the blazing sword here.
The whole reason you're fighting is to free the Danans in this realm, is it not? If
Shut
so,
your
then—
mouth, witch! That's enough! If you're really fighting for us Danans, why keep these bastards around? Why haven't you killed them already?
I'm not going to kill these bastards.
Oh. Is that the case, huh? Then tell me the point of this show.
They're my friends.
Friends? Renans are Renans. They're the scum-sucking bastards who've been draining our souls for 300 years now! But you knew that. Maybe it's 'cause you and that little lady are friends and more.
Son of a... You'll pay for that!
That's enough! Deadeye, you know that was completely uncalled for.
All of you, get the hell out of my realm! And don't ever come back! This is Danan's realm and it's ours, understand? I call the shots here. And I make the rules. I do, Deadeye, leader of the Dark Wings!
Yeah! Deadeye! Liberator Deadeye! You are the true leader of this realm! We're not afraid of any Bright Eyes!
It's only a matter of time before I throw every last Bright Eye out of this realm!
The Dark Wings! The Dark Wings rule!
Hey, wait up! Told you so, didn't I? You should have left your Renin pals outside.
You don't agree with him, do you? I could tell by the look on your face in there.
That's how things are with him. He loses his temper, then I step in and calm things down.
Better you than me.
If that's all, I think it's past time we were going.
Look, I just wanted to apologize for what Deadeye said in there.
At least somebody's got some manners around here.
He didn't used to be like that. But, well, that's what losing most of your loved ones will do to a man. He may never forgive the Renins.
It's a little ironic how indistinguishable his manner is to that of a lord.
Hey, Beifon? Deadeye mentioned the Lord is still on the run. Any ideas where she might be?
We looked all over, but found no traces of her. We heard some rumblings about activity in Estaluva Forest, but that's it.
Estaluva, huh?
Wait, you're not going after her, are you? Certainly won't win you any favors with Deadeye.
This isn't Deadeye's war, and we're certainly not fighting it for him. Besides, it's like Shion said, her type isn't going to go quietly.
Hey, it's your funeral. Don't say I didn't warn you.
We'll be sure to keep you out of it. Before we set out, though, is there anywhere around here we can rest?
Sure. Building at the end of the road, opposite side. It's all yours. We use it as temporary lodging, to house people who don't have a new place to live quite yet.
We're not going to run into any trouble there, are we?
Rumors of a certain fiery sword have spread fast. I doubt anyone will be eager to give you guys problems. And here's where I say my farewell. You're on your own, but good hunting.
Before you go, how come you don't hate the Renins as well?
Oh, believe me, I've got my bone to pick with the Renins. Just not with two of them I've never so much as laid eyes on before.
Let's head on over to that lodge. We'll figure out what our next move is there.
I get the feeling Deadeye's signed up to be a rebel, so he could have a roost to rule. Heck, he's no better than a lord. In some ways, he's even worse.
I know. How could he use explosives on his own people?
And yet, despite the toll of his actions, none of the Danans we've seen seem to question his assumed authority in the least. If anything, they may well consider him a hero, which would say a great deal toward how deeply they resented the Renans here.
Still, I don't think this is as simple as saying the good guys won out over the bad ones.
Yeah, I don't either. Deadeye might have managed to drive the Renans out of Niez, but that doesn't make the way he did it okay. No matter which way you look at it.
A victory that's earned by throwing away the lives of his own people? No, that isn't a victory at all. I can understand that the Danans here are standing up against their oppression, but that doesn't mean they have to humiliate all Renans just to settle the score.
I'm perfectly able to stand up for myself, Alphen. Besides, I'm used to it by...
But you shouldn't have to be, Shion. It's just... What I mean to say is, when you've been a slave for so long, it's easy to accept that's how it should be because it's all you've ever known. Constantly being belittled is no different. I don't think that's fair. For me or for you.
I just don't know, man.
Don't know what?
Deadeye managed to drive out a real live Renan lord. That's incredible. And he seems to have a lot of supporters surrounding him too. But he's got an attitude worse than any angry Zoogle. Plus, Niez is in utter ruins. I don't have a clue what his game is.
The Renans are powerful. And because of that, it takes a strong leader to have any hope of toppling them. However, when you take down one dictator only to replace them with another, ultimately it's just business as usual.
If it'd been Zephyr instead of Deadeye, I don't think things would have turned out like this.
Rinwell!
Yeah, I think so too. Zephyr did things differently top to bottom. He's not the kind of person who would have forced his own views or decisions on other people. When you do that, you're ruling over others, not leading them.
To be honest, I don't know what I would have wanted my dad to do if he was in that position.
Law.
The whole thing feels weird in a way. It's a weird kind of feeling, but at the same time, part of me also feels happy. Deadeye and my dad are two very different men. For now, I'm content knowing that.
The city is liberated, and yet the air still hums with fear and anxiety. It reminds me all too well of how Vicente once was.
Hums? You mean like music?
Yeah, none of this sounds like music to my ears. In fact, I've never seen any Danans with musical instruments in my life.
You don't need instruments to play music. It can emerge naturally from the sounds of people going about their day and the hustle and bustle of life.
You seem to care a lot about music, Dohalim. I didn't know that about you.
Have I not mentioned it? Before I was a candidate for the lordship, I had my heart set on the life of a musician.
You? A musician?
Indeed. Music enriches the world around us. I trained day and night to hone my art. Words could not describe my bliss, as my notes carried with them the sights and sounds of nature, the ebb and flow of time, and the thoughts of people on the wind.
Dohalim.
Forgive me. My loquaciousness can get the best of me at times.
Don't apologize. It's interesting hearing what Renan culture is like.
Even though the Renans destroyed all of our arts and culture.
Personally, I was interested in the music of Dana as well. The fact that generations of lords deemed music to be of no use to their slaves and outright forbade the ownership of instruments is lamentable. Not that my words can undo the damage already done.
What's wrong? All right.
What the?
Hey.
Yeah!
Good.
All right!
Not this way, I guess.
You see anybody around here who could use our help?
We can't chase after every little thing.
Oh, yeah? How's this? Great!
Yes. Hey.
Good.
Really? What? Yes!
All right. Right.
Really?
What?
Huh?
All right.
Yes!
Over there.
Huh? Yes!
All right.
Yes!
Huh.
All right.
By the by, Shion, if you don't mind my asking, would you be willing to share what sort of clothes are currently in fashion on Rena sometime?
Sure, as long as you call me Captain.
Sir, yes, sir, Captain Shion.
I was just joking. Kinda has a nice ring to it, though.
That Deadeye creep certainly has a few screws loose, that's for sure.
Forget that guy. Right now, we need to discuss how we're going to proceed.
What's there to discuss? Deadeye and his crew have already brought down the Lord here. Just let them finish her off.
I want to go after her.
I second that. I think it's the best thing to do right now. We don't know if the Darkwings have what it takes to beat her. I'm worried what'll happen if we leave her to her own devices.
You make a good point, Rinwell. And maybe I'm just being overconfident, but between us and them, I think we have a better chance at defeating her.
I have to agree. This realm isn't going to be truly safe as long as that Lord is still running around out there. We need to act.
Fine by me. But isn't Deadeye just gonna take all the credit once we're done?
Our job is to break down the walls that oppress Dana. What he chooses to build in their place, that's his problem. For now, we'll head to this Estaluva forest Bayfon told us about. Whatever we decide to do, though, we should take some time to rest first. We've barely stopped since Menancia. Where are you going?
Alphen.
You should get some rest. What's got you up at this hour?
Just let me be for a minute, okay? Why don't you go back to the inn?
I will when you do.
Have it your way.
Shion. The Lord's days are numbered. I haven't forgotten our promise. You can trust me, you know. Maybe even lean on me a little. If you want.
And if I say I will you finally give it a rest?
Yeah, of course. Try to get some rest, okay?
What was all that about?
So we're just going to check things out, right? In whatever that forest is called.
Estaluva Forest. Next time, pay attention. I hear a voice. Somebody's asking for help.
Hopefully it's nothing that'll be too hard to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Well...
I see.
Oh. Just great.
Excuse me!
Good.
That's some cryptic text, all right.
It could mean anything. Can't we just look around the area for clues or something?
Hey, maybe these are supposed to be different locations?
Oh, now you're into this too, huh? Got sand in my eyes!
The winds are strong here. Mind yourselves.
Ugh, even the inside of my mouth is all sandy.
Hootle, don't get blown away, okay?
The winds outside the capital are blowing as strongly as ever.
You can definitely see why people call this place the Valley of the Four Winds.
Indeed. Mahag Sar is the realm of wind, just as Ganeth Heros is for water.
Earth, water, fire, wind, light, and darkness. Rena is aligned to darkness, leaving each realm one element each.
Is that because some elements are easier to gather in certain areas than others?
That is certainly possible, but I suspect the biggest reason is to prevent the lords from squabbling over resources.
Funny. You would think infighting would come naturally to an elite class vying for a crown.
True, but the Renans rule as a minority. Fighting ourselves would just be destructive. Though, as you saw in Menancia, any abstention from fighting is merely a facade.
In the end, you all get usurped whether you like it or not.
That may be true, but something tells me that this time is different.
We have to catch up to the Lord first if we want answers. Let's keep moving.
What is that ring of rocks over there for? They don't look like they formed naturally to me.
Oh yeah. Funny, I guess I've gotten used to weird rock formations. They didn't even register as being out of the ordinary.
Most likely, they were brought over by us Renans when we first invaded the planet.
Wait, those? So does that mean there's some kind of machine then? And if so, what in the world were they even used for?
To manipulate the properties of Dana's astral energy.
Really?
Think about it. Isn't it strange that the type of energy each realm collects is so fixed? Astral energy by nature isn't meant to skew towards one element or another so heavily.
So the Renans reformed it for the crown contest.
Sounds like the crazy thing a Renan would do.
Renans these days are more advanced than Danans in some ways, but even they don't seem capable of doing something on that grand a scale. Or is that something that's possible on Lenegis? Or maybe the Renan homeworld?
I can't claim to know everything about my own kind, but I myself have never seen anything that would be capable of such a drastic feat.
But at some point they did just that. Those are the sort of people we're up against. We should do our best not to forget that.
You're so amazing, Kisara. You can cook, you can fix weapons. I feel like there's practically nothing you can't do.
Maybe you should take a page out of her book and learn to make yourself more useful then.
I'd be happy to teach you if you want, Rinwell. I learned most everything I know from my brother.
Really? Even how to sew and do laundry?
Yes, indeed. He knew how to do anything.
Sounds like he was a pretty handy guy when he was alive.
He was. I'd always follow him around and badger him with questions. I was a real pain in the neck. Now that I think about it, he and Legil were the ones who taught me how to raise cats, too.
Legil is that woman who was with him in the Gold Dust Cats, right? I remember now. The one with the really pretty hair.
Funny you mention that. He also taught me how to maintain my hair. Not that those lessons stopped it from getting all tangled up during training.
I think it still looks gorgeous.
From what I can tell, it would appear as though the only thing he didn't manage to teach you was how to apply makeup.
No, but that didn't stop him from trying. He really wanted to teach me everything. Only reason he couldn't was because I prioritized my training.
And here I was trying to make a joke.
I can't tell if she's being serious. The only one here who knows him well enough was her.
Yeah, I guess only Miguel could have told us if it's actually true.
Dispose of the trash.
This
one will never miss!
Raging Luna Storm!
Your reflexes will not serve you well here.
Water! Look sharp!
I think we can get through this.
Don't let up until it's over.
Yeah!
Who said anything about letting off?
Look sharp! Take this!
Tiger Blade!
Aqua Serpent! Rising Water! Can you take it? Enough done! Here's how about this? Searing Gale!
Do it by me!
Astral energy! Full throttle!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor. Somehow, things are even worse outside.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Take this!
In a bind?
Here I come! You're finished!
Raging Luna Storm!
Rising Wyvern! I'm not done!
Primed and ready!
Mirage!
This one's mine!
Pesky airborne scoundrel!
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
I think we can get through this.
Don't let up until it's over.
Make it run!
Who said anything about letting
Nicely done,
off?
Shion.
You're slacking.
Step it up!
Yeah.
Hear me! Flame
You got it.
Thank you!
Do it! Tiger Claw! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
Alphen, have you been washing your clothes? It may not be my place to say this, but frankly, they're starting to stink.
Now that you mention it, it has been a while since I did any laundry.
I'll wash them for you if you want. Just remember to give them to me the next time you get changed.
Oh, okay. Sure. Thanks, Kisara.
And, Law, Rinwell, yours are starting to look a bit ragged.
What do you expect? Of course they're going to tear up when we're out there fighting so much.
Yeah, but it's still kind of embarrassing, having it pointed out like this.
And Shion?
I wouldn't touch me if I were you.
Of course. My apologies. All I wanted to say was that your sleeves are getting a little bit dirty.
You don't need to worry so much, Kisara. It's only natural our clothes are gonna get a little dirty while we're traveling around.
That's no excuse. Your outward appearance says a lot about your inner well-being.
Now you've really set her off.
Suffice to say, it would appear that the traditions of the Guard are still alive and well within her.
What do you mean? What do the guardsmen do that's so special?
Mostly, I'm simply referring to the fact that they're a very regimented and cleanly group of people.
Do I really sound that weird to you guys? Keeping your clothes clean and mended is completely normal to me.
Don't get us wrong. We appreciate the thought, Kisara. But we've got a long journey ahead. It wouldn't hurt to relax your standards. Just a little.
If you're sure. I wasn't trying to overdo it, I promise. However, if it's making the rest of you tense, I'll do my best to tone it down from here on out. Still, if everyone could bring their laundry and clothes they want fixed, that'd be great. I'll take care of it all for you guys tonight.
Don't you ever get tired?
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Why didn't the Renans...
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Demon Fang!
Nothing will hold me back.
By the power of
Raging Luna Storm!
These ones can run rings around us! Burning strike!
Be still!
Wait!
Raging Luna Storm!
Where are you going?
Raging Luna Storm!
Going in! Cyan distance!
Tiger Blade! Not so fast.
Testing time!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! And the pummeling to me!
Hear me! Flame of
Lightning
Fury!
Blast!
Do it!
Rising Falcon!
Tiger Blade! This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Hey! It's that ingredient!
No choice! Burn!
Armor won't save you!
Not on my watch!
How about this?
Here I go! Going in!
Begin!
Get behind me!
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
This one's mine!
You know Renans and Danans have unique ways of...
Tell me about it.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Can you take it? How sick!
Raging Luna Storm!
Corruption!
Rising Wiper!
Make it rain!
Struck!
Annihilation! Hear me! Flame
Going
of
in.
Fury! Burning strike!
This one's all mine!
Make it rain! Good to know my training is paying off.
Get lost!
Can't get out of this!
Lunar corruption! Lunar corruption! Where are you going? Careful! It has some kind of camouflage! None shall escape my judgment!
Far enough! Here I come! Burn in hell!
That's it!
Raging Luna Storm!
Lunar corruption!
Here I come!
Lunar blast! Wait! Here, let me help! Going in!
Luna Rongo!
I think I'm coming down with something great.
A chronic inability to read the room?
Formality your arts cannot fix.
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Piercing roar!
Begin!
Power
Burn!
Here, let me help!
Falling storm!
Now I can let loose. Can't get out of this!
Tiger Blade!
Rising Wiper!
Now you see what I can do!
Bestow thy mystic mercy.
I'll stop
Here's
its charge!
evil! Thanks, Kisara! I can heal myself, thank you.
Precisely. The healers cannot be risked.
That's the wisest thing you've ever said.
Ready to go!
Lunar blast! This one's mine!
Water snake, wait!
Will this help? Will this help?
Falling storm! I'll heal you all!
Do it! Dragon form!
Healing
Show
storm!
my mystic mercy.
Ignite!
I owe you one for that!
Begin! Take this!
This one is mine! Anything normal is all mine!
Raging Lunar Storm!
Falling storm!
Demon Fang! Double Demon
Water,
Fang!
No
hear my
further.
call! Spread!
I have no limits!
Do it! Take this!
In an instant!
Impact Claw!
We're a pretty lethal combination, aren't we?
What can I say? I had a good partner.
I need something to eat. Am I imagining things? Or are there a lot of big Zoogles in this area?
No, I noticed that too. There's plenty of food and water to go around here. For a Zoogle, this just might be paradise.
Great, that's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Finally!
What is it?
I found an ingredient for that new recipe.
Judging by the stench, I'd say the animals at the ranch are all grown now.
Is there a reason you're looking at me so intently?
Shion's kind of turned into the local fashion critic in our group.
So this is what lords like you wear. Certainly looks the part. I can tell at a glance what high quality everything is.
It's not often Shion's that impressed. You wear a lot of rings too, don't you?
They were a gift. Purchased rather cheaply, or so I was told.
What's your definition of cheap, exactly?
I believe it was around 100 to 200,000 gold.
What? If my wolf head cost 10 gold, then that'd mean... Holy crap! They cost 1,000 times more?!
10,000 times more.
If he sold those things off, I bet he could build a damn mansion with them.
At the very least, he'd never go hungry the rest of his life.
You're all beginning to sound alarmingly interested in my rings.
Dohalim, your spare bracers were getting dirty, so I polished them up along with the rest of your equipment.
Why, thank you, Kisara. I greatly appreciate that.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but you sure seem to fuss over Dohalim a whole lot, Kisara.
It is a little strange. Almost like you're still in his service.
Really? That's certainly not my intention. Besides, he's not the only one I'm like that with. Hey, Law, I saw your clothes were starting to get holes in them, so I stitched them back up for you.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Kisara.
Point taken. Do you just like looking after people?
I wouldn't go so far as to say I like it, but I get anxious if I don't. I'd always like to help if I can. It comes naturally to me. Back in the day, Miguel and I used to look after the younger kids a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. He taught me everything I know, and I mean everything. How to cook with wild plants, how to sew clothes so they'll last. Without him, we never would have been able to survive.
However, you're not a lord anymore, Dohalim. You need to get used to the idea that people aren't just going to wait on you hand and foot.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm ashamed to admit that I felt no qualms about her doing all that for me. As both a Renan and especially as a lord, one becomes too accustomed to those beneath you tending to your every need, both Renans and Danans alike.
Sure, that's how all you Renans are probably raised. But just to be clear, we're not your servants, Dohalim. Got that?
Absolutely. Moments such as this provide me with ample opportunity to confront my unease. It is difficult to tend with my own motivations.
What do you mean?
The truth of the matter is that my espousal of coexistence in Menancia hardly came from an idealistic place. That instinctive unease I feel deep within serves as a reminder for what it is that all of us here fight for.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one's going to abandon you if you aren't always perfect.
Looking at her now, I think she's more like his mom than his servant.
What's up, Kisara? You look concerned.
Oh, no, it's just... I'm looking at our finances and they seem to have taken a nosedive. I don't remember us making any big purchases, though.
Ah, that may be because I borrowed a small amount to purchase something the other day.
I don't think you can call spending more than half of our money a small amount.
Half? Dohalim, what the hell did you buy?
As it so happens, I came upon a rather special object that I've long been searching for.
Are you talking about that junk? I mean, that unique-looking trinket you're holding?
Whoa, is that a...
Indeed. It is a lost artifact from ancient Danan times. Most likely, it was used for some sort of rite or ritual. Ever since we Renans conquered Dana, such objects have been disappearing. I simply want to do my part to help preserve both our people's storied histories.
Well, if it's to preserve Danan history, then I guess we can maybe look the other way. Just this once?
I don't know. Why spend money on something that won't even keep us fed?
More to the point, we all contribute to that money. I don't like the thought of anyone dipping into it without saying anything.
You must understand. Had I let that opportunity pass me by, I'd never have come across this item again.
Dohalim, maybe no one taught you that money doesn't grow on trees.
I may have been a lord, but I realize that much.
It's not enough to simply realize it. You have to internalize the concept too. Even after all this time, you still have no real sense of money. Our funds aren't your personal wallet. We camp outside and eat grass for dinner to try and stretch every last gold we have. You never know when we may need it.
I don't think we're so poor that we have to eat grass or anything.
Shut up, Alphen.
Shutting.
Let's just agree to not spend too much or be too thrifty for our own good.
Alphen, your blazing sword draws its power from Shion's Fire Master core, right?
So I'm told.
Then why don't you use yours, Dohalim?
You mean my Earth Master core, yes?
Yeah, I mean, you still carry it around with you, don't you?
I do. Each Master Core contains the astral energy harvested from Danan's slaves over the course of the last 3 centuries. Though only a select few qualified people, namely the Lords, can wield them, they nevertheless hold too much power to simply abandon.
If only the Lords are supposed to be able to use them, how come Alphen and Xion can use theirs?
That may be because Xion has embedded the Fire Master Core within her body, something which wouldn't have occurred under normal circumstances.
Okay, but why do you still carry yours around?
Just as Danans see Master Cores as symbols of the lives and resources robbed from them, so too do I view mine as a symbol of our lasting sins. The pain and agony wrought upon this world by my predecessors, as well as the injustice enabled by my own inaction, are all housed within my Master Core. It is a testament of all that I have done wrong. It cannot ever be used again, nor fall back into the wrong hands.
Dohalim.
You didn't differentiate between the deaths of Danans and the deaths of Renans.
Danans and Renans both spill blood and languish in agony all the same. I just couldn't bear to hear it any longer. That's all.
Little late for that.
This flavor, why, it rivals the cooking of my own chefs in the palace.
Rinwell, mind if we chat a little? I noticed you haven't been training Hootle lately. Is he doing okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He's been catching fish with Kisara, and he seems to be adjusting his diet on his own, so I'm not as worried as before.
Maybe that's his way of pitching in, so you don't have to do everything for him.
Yeah, maybe. I guess at some point he started taking a shine to everyone too, just like they did to him.
You sound like you're okay with that.
Yeah. More than okay, really. It feels natural having Hootle and everyone around.
I know what you mean. We all support and take care of each other in our own ways. It's starting to feel like we're almost a family.
Huh. I hadn't thought of it like that. So does that make you everybody's dad?
Do I really look that old to you?
Huh? You don't like that? Okay, how about you be the big brother? Xion is the big sister. And Kisara can be our mom.
Well, then how about Dohalim for the dad?
I don't really get that kind of vibe from Dohalim. He's more like an uncle. An old uncle, who's too preachy and snarky for his own good sometimes. And as for Law... Well, Hootle took the little brother role, and Law's definitely not the dad. This is hard. Oh! Law can be the pet dog!
A dog? Do dogs really count as part of a family?
Of course they do! If an owl can be part of our family, so can a dog. When you think about it like that, we have a pretty fun family.
Yeah, a pretty big one as well.
That's why I like it so much. I wish we didn't have to do anything dangerous. I just want to keep traveling the world with you guys the way we are right now.
You okay?
Oh, it's nothing. Actually, I think I'm gonna go practice with Hootle for a bit. Hootle, let me know if you sense anything. I want to go back to bed. Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.
Oh?
nice.
Is that so? You don't say.
How?
I see.
Hey! Sure.
Nice work.
Oh?
Very nice.
Well?
Yes! What?
What?
I don't believe this!
All right?
No.
Sure.
Really now.
Yes! What?
What?
Very nice. Yes.
Well, that was a huge miscalculation.
Yet you've drained your glass all the same.